Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another weekly vlog. I have had not a very good weekend, but I'm hoping that this week will completely turn things around for me. Next weekend I do have a fundraiser for my work, so I will be spending the majority of the week working on that. But outside of work, I have some goals in mind. I have some reading for some other reading vlogs that I need to do, but I want to blow through True Blood. I also want to start Twin Peaks. I have a couple of books that I want to read independent of those reading vlogs, and mostly I want to get back to a very stable nervous system. I'm still on my period, so I'm not going to be able to swim this week. Unfortunately, my period takes quite a while. It'll probably be till the end of the week, if at all this week I'll be able to swim, but I will definitely be doing my lifting slash yoga slash Pilates schedule and really focusing on those special interests. I also really want to get into the fall spirit. I've had a couple of vlogs where I was like prioritizing cozy, but I'm just not feeling very fall. It's still in the 80s to 90s here, and so it's hard to like feel the fall, but it is going to be October this week, my favorite time of the year. So yeah, I already have my Halloween decorations up, even though I said I was going to delay them this year, but I was feeling it. I put them up last weekend or sometime earlier this week. That is the vlog. That's the plan for the week. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll talk later.
Yeah, I don't care. I couldn't.
So I ended up finishing the Reiki today at work, and I think I landed on a 4-star for it. I really liked it. I think it was a very emotionally charged novel. The romance was very heavy, but also very light and sweet. If you're looking for a historical romance where the heroine is the more dominant one in the relationship, and there's a heavy emphasis on women's rights, and there's a lot of discussion around the plight of women during this time period, I would say you'd really like it. The hero is definitely a lot more submissive, open with his emotions, and very willing to express his attraction, but also his negative feelings towards the heroine. And he meets her time and time again. She's very prickly, and she is very standoffish. She's rude whenever she feels like someone's getting too close. She purposefully tries to hurt them, and he fights against that, and he continues to show up for her, but he also has his own boundaries and his own limits that he makes very clear and very obvious to her. And I think the relationship is beautiful. Felt a little bit iffy about the time skip that happens. I understand that it was necessary, but the things that happened during that time skip I would have liked to have seen, rather than just have like a blip about what it is. But overall, this is a very heavy, emotionally charged book. Deals with addiction, pregnancy loss, abuse. It deals with a lot of stuff, and so it's a heavy but good one, in my opinion. And it actually, the romance, the relationship, reminded me of this thing that I saw on Threads that I really loved. The point of finding a partner who's a good, healthy match isn't to enjoy a carefree relationship that never triggers your issues. The point is to find someone with whom you feel safe enough to be triggered, so you can do the hard work of breaking unhealthy patterns and facing your demons with someone who deeply loves and cares for you. That's basically what this relationship reminded me of, and I thought it was very well done. Just the outside elements, outside of the romance, are where the story lacks, in my opinion. So I really liked it. I think the hero is great. He's very different than what we tend to see in historical romance, and I'm very, very interested to see the stories that come out of this series, the romances, and I'm definitely going to be picking up more from this author. So if you have a favorite by this author, this is the first book that I've read by them. If you have a favorite that you recommend, let me know down in the comments. But I really liked it. But other than that, I'm kind of a little bit burnt out, I think, on life in general, but also on reading. I've been trying to pick up some other things for other videos, and I just haven't found anything that I'm really loving. And I think I'm just a little bit overwhelmed with life right now, and I need to relax, which is unfortunate when part of that is also the hobby, the special interest of mine that like refuels me. I think I'm gonna try to pick up something else at some point that isn't for other videos. I might pick up some graphic novels that I have on my TBR. Sheets, which is a graphic novel about a ghost that lives in a laundromat. And I also have Payu of the Woods. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I don't know what this is about, but I think it follows a young character who finds a lost tree spirit and helps them find their way home. And it looks very adorable. But I'm feeling some graphic novels, and I also have some graphic novels checked out from Kindle Unlimited. So I think that's what I'm feeling. I think I need a break from typical novels. So that's the update for the day. I'm going to spend the rest of the evening watching people stream, and we'll probably talk tomorrow. Happy Wednesday, friends. As you can probably tell by my low energy, I'm not feeling great. I think I have been approaching burnout episode, and I've been trying to put it off, and I don't think that I can anymore. I think all of the stuff that I've been doing over the past couple of weeks has just caught up with me, including some like major life changes that I didn't want to admit were going to affect my life, but they really have. And I'm hoping that it will calm down, but for the moment it's just a little bit stressful. It's exhausting. Oh, I don't want to cry, but being this way is so exhausting, and it's so frustrating to feel like you can't do anything. Like, I feel like I can't exist. I can't go through stressful things and like just do it, and it's exhausting. And I wish that I was at the acceptance phase and I could see this for the greatness, the superpower that it is, or that some people feel like it is, but I'm not there, and it's incredibly hard. I'm tired. I'm tired, and I don't want to do this anymore, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to live like this for the rest of my life. I feel like I can't do it, and I'm at a complete loss for words. Like, I can't even express how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, because I just don't know. I've been trying to like find and do things that I enjoy, but it's just so joyless. I did end up starting a book that I really liked. I started The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels, which is I'm really liking. I'm discovering this year that I like this genre of like comedic historical fantasy romance. I don't like this one quite as much as I did Rivalry of Hearts, but I'm still really liking this one. I would say it's less on the romance side of things, but basically we're following our heroine, who is a pirate. They have magical powers, and they can like enchant houses to like float around like ships, and the Wisteria Society is full of women pirates, and they're like their own governing entity. They follow their own sets of rules and stuff. The hero of the novel is someone who was hired to assassinate her, because there's a rivalry between her aunt, who she lives with, and who like taught her her thieving ways, and this person who is trying to assassinate her. And it's pretty funny. It's very charming. I like the banter between the hero and the heroine. It's very funny. He's like trying to assassinate her, but the way they go about the dialogue and all of that is really fun. And I'm fascinated by the world, and by the magic system, and I'm not even feeling like I need to know more. I just am like along for the ride, which is what I love so much about these stories. I do just feel like whatever this author wants to give me, like, I'm happy with, and I would love to read more novels like this. And the audiobook experience is just fantastic. I'm relying really heavily right now on audiobooks to read because I just can't do it. I just can't with my eyeballs. And so audiobooks have like really been getting me through it, especially because I've been reading some books that I'm not the biggest fan of, and when I read books that I'm not enjoying back to back, it kind of ruins it for me. So the audiobooks have really been helping. Other than that, I really haven't been doing much. I had car troubles. I had all of that. I was able to lift a couple of days ago, I think 2 days ago, but it's just been so much, and I've just been really in bed and trying to just survive, and that's a really frustrating state to be in. But I'm trying to like find little pockets of joy where I can. I'm trying to enjoy myself. I do have a therapy appointment tomorrow and an appointment with my psychiatrist on Friday, and I think I'm gonna discuss upping my dosage with her on Friday. So hopefully I can get some clarity there, and that will help a little bit, or we can explore some options. And then I think talking to my therapist tomorrow is gonna be really helpful. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't really have the capacity to do a lot this evening. We do have some side business stuff that we need to do when my partner gets home, but aside from that, I don't have it in me to do anything. I might try to do some other side business stuff, but it's like kind of mindless, so it's easy to just like plug in like a YouTube video or something and do it, but I don't really have the capacity to do much else. And yeah. Oh man, I wish that I had like cohesive thoughts that I could just like explain to you how I'm feeling. I hope that if you've had this feeling before, or you deal with similar things, then you know where I'm coming from. But for anybody who hasn't experienced it, I wish that I could like, I wish I had the words, but I just don't. That's it. That's the depressing clip of the video. I seem to always have one of them lately, which sucks because like 3 weeks ago I was on top of the world, best I've ever felt, and now we're here, and that sucks.
Which is page 167. I'm really happy with this book.
Happy Friday evening, friends. I have been doing a ton of reading of graphic novels. I got like 6 or 7 volumes into Lumberjanes. This is a graphic novel series that's available on Kindle Unlimited. Middle grade graphic novel series about a group of girls who like go to a summer camp together and they discover some supernatural things going on at their summer camp, and it's tons of fun. It's super cozy, super cute. The art style is amazing. I'm really enjoying the series. For me, it's like a less mature version of Giant Days. Like, that's how it feels. If you've read Giant Days, you know how like a slice of life and like small it feels. That's very much this, with like a supernatural twist. And I can feel like all of the good feelings coming from the graphic novels that I have been reading. I just decided to pick up a graphic novel. I was hoping that it would get me out of the reading slump that I'm in, and I do sort of feel myself getting some energy from it. So I think I'm going to try to read these two before the week is out. I do have the fundraiser tomorrow, so I won't be filming in the evening tomorrow, but I'm going to try to get some reading done before I have to leave. So I'm going to read these two. I also want to get a little bit further into Lumberjanes, and I got a ton of graphic novels on Kindle Unlimited / Comixology or whatever it's called. They're treated as 2 separate libraries. So like Kindle Unlimited has the 20 book minimum, but as far as I know, I don't think Comixology, like I have 30 checked out right now and it hasn't told me to stop, but like my library is just full. I'm excited to read them. We have a variety of spooky ones. We have some Joker, Batman, Poison Ivy ones that I'm interested in as well. And I just have a good variety, I think. And then I also started reading this gothic fantasy, I think, Anathema. I am only 54 pages in, but it seems to be about this like Puritanist town that has like a dark wood surrounding it, and people are exiled into the dark wood, and I think the heroine gets exiled there, and she's forced to live there and like confront things in the dark wood. I started it a couple of days ago, and every time I pick it up I'm like, what is happening again? I've had to reread it and start from the beginning numerous times, but the writing style is okay. I have read something else by this author that I didn't love. I think I gave it like 3 stars maybe, but I'm in the mood for some like dark fantasy, so I'm going to be reading those, but mostly I'm going to be focusing on graphic novels. I probably am going to get back into Lumberjanes once my iPad charges, so for right now I'm going to focus on this fantasy, and I'll update you guys when I have some more thoughts on it. Or we'll probably just end up talking tomorrow. Okay, so I am still only 40% of the way through Anathema, and I thought I would give an update because I didn't do the best job explaining it yesterday, and quite frankly, I didn't really know what was going on. This is over 700 pages, and there's so much lore and world building that has happened in this first little bit that is pretty confusing. So I'm gonna try to give you the bare bones of it, and hopefully as the story goes on, I'll understand it a little bit more. But we're following two characters. We have Maven, who is living in the human world, and when she was a baby, she was left on the doorstep, basically, of this village. And she had a black rose on her, and this village is incredibly superstitious. It follows the red god, but the beliefs and the actions and the behavior of people who believe in this faith are very reminiscent of like Puritans. And she was taken in by this woman who she calls her aunt. Her and her sister are sold off. Her grandmother, after her grandfather died, really want anything to do with them, and she didn't really like them, and so she sold them off to two different men, both of them awful in their own right. This village borders on this haunted forest, this forest that supposedly no human can go into and survive. It has these like monstrous creatures in it, and they exile people there that do bad stuff, basically any sin committed. We also have the point of view of Xander, I think is his name. He is in the Fey realm, and he is an assassin to the king, but he has this curse that was placed on him by this like evil mage when he was a kid, and it's slowly like rotting him from the inside. But he has like shadow magic, and he can do blood magic, and there's a lot of different types of magical creatures in this world, like Fae, and they all have these different names, so it's hard for me to parse what everybody does, but it seems like they have powers, but they have to have access to this certain like mineral or this certain potion or property to keep their power up, and if they don't use their power and have this thing, then their power goes away. And so like the rich are the people that have access to this property and nobody else does, and he asked the help of a mage to get rid of the curse that is on him, and basically he's like rotting from the inside. His brother was also similarly cursed, and so he thinks that he will kind of go the way of his brother, like transform into this being thing and like completely lose his own sentience. And so the mage requires him, based on visions that he's seen, to take the soul of the last remaining bloodline in these like 7 establishing bloodlines, like 7 people that established and designed the portals between all of the realms and all of that. So he uses his blood magic, gets these stones after he's killed these people, and the last stone is said to be in a human. We kind of go between those two plot lines. I'm at 83 pages in, and we've just gotten to the point where they've actually interacted in a meaningful way. Sister was exiled for committing adultery and getting pregnant. The main character obviously follows her sister, and they get attacked by this creature. She gets through the portal, but her sister is not able to. Maeve gets taken in by some royal guards. The royal guards then contact Xander, and he brings her back to his lodgings, his castle, his whatever. They're planning to train her to use her powers to hopefully unlock this curse, and there's been allusions to like a big bad that was defeated, and they don't know if he actually died or not, or if he's living, and he could be living in the mortal world, and there's like a lot of mystery there. But Xander's main concern is like getting this curse off of him. Obviously the mage is interested in the power and the history of all of the 7 bloodlines, including the heroine. Maeve is possibly, we're pretty sure, from this bloodline of people, of mortals that used to live in the Fey world that were all like completely wiped out. Like I said, there's a lot of world building going on. There's like a lot of names being used, and it's a little bit unclear what everything means, but it's 700 pages, so hopefully we'll get some clarity as it goes on. But I am liking it. I struggled a little bit at first to get into the novel, but now that I'm like 200 plus pages in, I'm reading it like this and I'm really enjoying it. So that is that. And then I also read a couple more volumes of Lumberjanes last night. I think I'm up to volume 8 or 9. I'm still really liking the series. I appreciate that it is on Comixology so that I can just kind of read the whole series. I think all 22 volumes are on there, and I'm really appreciating the story. It's like fun little vignettes of this group of campers doing stuff like earning badges and going on little forced trips together, and then we occasionally have chapters interspersed of like supernatural things going on that I'm really liking. We're now getting into kind of like the backstory of the characters and their relationship prior to going to the camp, but overall it just has this very nice like energy to it. It's a nice reading experience, and I can just feel it like filling me up with energy, so that's great. It is 12. I need to leave in a couple hours to go do the fundraiser for my work, so I'm probably going to read for the rest of that time period until I need to start getting ready. I know that this vlog has been kind of a weird one, kind of all over the place, but I hope you've enjoyed it nonetheless.